Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Boozer here. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully you guys are having a good Monday so far. We got some Plarium news here today, and it is probably news that a lot of people have been waiting for probably since King Narcissus back in February. So it's been a good 8 months since our last guaranteed void legendary, not actually a void epic this time, but an actual void legendary. And it is going to be from the undead faction, going with the Halloween theme, and it's going to be Little Miss Annie here. I don't have her. She's actually a really insane damage dealer. She has the triple hit decrease defense with the heal reduction, hits super hard, really good against Fire Knight if you have one of those undead specific dungeon events. She has a double hit increased attack on herself, and then she has the ignore defense here with a Terminator fill. Then she has a single target, just obliterating enemy minions. Same thing, 25% defense ignore, and then destroy max HP as well. Places revive on death on kill. So there's a couple champions that have like something similar, maybe like Georgette or something. Kills an enemy, puts a revive on death on himself. She has two passives. One passive is when she is revived, she kills the champion with the default skill that, well, she attacks the champion that killed her, and then she does some Terminator stuff on herself, giving herself a shield, and then she also does a bit of healing for herself as well when attacking enemies under heal reduction or decreased defense. So she has like some built-in survivability, but make no mistake, she is incredibly squishy. Her base stats look very solid for a attack-based damage dealer, so just under 1600 attack with the boosted crit damage here. But yeah, she's going to be up for grabs. There's not too much content on her actually. I don't think she gets as much love. I know like Ash loves her and stuff. She did get a little bit of love in Live Arena when Live Arena was relatively newish. Make no mistake, she definitely slaps. I'll show you guys a clip here. This is a quick clip, but this is her demolishing Phantom Shogun 25. Literal seconds here. This video from Sam Solstice. You got the Gertup buff, and then you got the Susan buff, instant turn, and then just instantly kills the Phantom Shogun. This is, yeah, it's just wow. You literally got a 3-second run here against Phantom Shogun. So, that's one of her main kind of crazy uses. With crazy gear, she can do something like really crazy damage. But yeah, it's not for everybody. And, I understand that she is going to be kind of a niche-ish damage dealer, but she is very solid. Personally, I'm probably going to go for her. Both my accounts are off Mercy, so it's a good time to kind of build it up. You don't count against Mercy by pulling her for the guarantee. So let's say I don't pull a single legendary for 100 shards. That means my Mercy will go all the way up to 100 basically. So it kind of builds it up. At the same time, you get a legendary for it. It's a void legendary for 100 shards. So I have the shards to kind of play around with here. You might pull something along the way. I think it's going to be midweek, so it's not going to be, there's no summon event or anything like that. However, there is a Deck of Fate event happening tomorrow. And Deck of Fate, we don't know what it is going to have in it. So it doesn't specify anything about what you need to complete the Deck of Fate. If it's summoning, then that's great. So now you can summon Void Shards and get points towards the Deck of Fate. Doesn't look like there's anything too crazy in the Deck of Fate. Like we were thinking maybe it's going to be a guaranteed champion, but it's definitely doesn't look like that is the case here. So it's just going to be some random goodies. But it's probably going to be a summon Deck of Fate, so then we can summon our Void Shards, get some extra goodies along the way. Obviously, these are events trying to get our resources before the fusion ends. So if you're planning on going for the fusion, or the fusion looks interesting to you, then it might be worth your worth your while to save your shards so that you can do the fusion. So Plarium is actually also starting a couple other events at the same time as the Little Miss Annie 100 Void Shard guarantee. So there's actually going to be a progressive that's happening at the same time as well. So the thing is, if you want let's say you're pulling for Little Miss Annie, you have the choice between Tunisia or Soulless. So the best thing about Tunisia is that with really good gear, she can solo like Spider, like normal Spider. She's really strong, right? She brings the HP burns, she brings the turn meter decrease, she brings the AoE stuns. She hits relatively hard. She has A1 decreased defense as well. But her best thing about her, I think, is that she empowers Marius. So I think definitely some people will be pulling for her just to empower Marius. So I think, you know, that kind of lines up kind of well. The second option here for the Void option, if you're pulling for Little Miss Annie, is Soulless, defense-based nuker. I mean, Soulless kind of, you know, he's kind of fallen off, right? It's kind of fallen off. He's not the hardest hitting defense-based damage dealer anymore. He can do some stuff, like if you have him, he can do some stuff in like Hydra. He can provoke for you. He still hits relatively hard, but yeah, definitely fallen out of favor a little bit. The third option is actually to leave the progressive Void champion empty. So if you leave them empty, you don't boost the chances of one, therefore having equal chances for all. So if you don't want either of them, then that's probably your best bet. Leave the progressive slot empty. In that case, then you have an even chance for all other legendaries. The rest of the non-voids, I would recommend not pulling any shards if you are going for the fusion. But the rest of non-voids here are pretty decent. Like obviously, like Stultus is very solid. He's like the GOAT. Stultus is the GOAT for Hard Dragon. So he just stands there, reflects the poison back, and he kills everything. Basically just with his passive. After that, we have Ragosh, which is... Unfortunately, Ragosh is a spirit-based damage dealer. In a faction with one of the best spirit-based damage dealers. So you have Sun Wukong available as well as Ragosh. Ragosh is a little bit different because Ragosh is defense-based and Sun Wukong is attack-based. So they're kind of different, but Sun Wukong is just strictly a lot better. Wukong has the speed aura, he has the crazy passive, he hits super hard. So after that, we have another spirit-based damage dealer. We have Samson. So we have, you know, Skinwalkers are 3 spirit-based damage dealers, but they're all different. This one's Samson's HP based. He actually hits pretty hard if you can kill somebody. So if you can kill somebody, you get an extra hit, which is pretty cool. But yeah, his overall damage is not as good as Wukong, for example. And then the last champion up for grabs from the non-voids is Godfred. I like Godfred. He works without books. You basically just use him for his passive. His passive is if an ally gets killed by a fatal hit, blocks incoming damage, places block damage on them, and then the block damage, if somebody hits the block damage, then they get stunned, which is kind of cool, right? So he's a nice defensive option. He does bring AoE stuns. He does bring like a soft cleanse with increased defense as well. Decent option, and then he has some control on his A1 decreased defense with the provoke. But I wouldn't be like going crazy pulling for this guy. But yeah, it's gonna be, you know, void shards. Void shards for Little Miss Annie or sit on your hands. That's about it. Like a midweek summon rush. Unless you guys are really keen on going for the Deck of Fate, or if Deck of Fate for some reason is a really good, you know, price structure or point structure, probably just sit on your hands and wait for the fusion to happen and then see where you can spend your resources. But for me, I'm interested in Little Miss Annie. I think she's one of the best animated ones. She has really cool like aesthetics. And of course, the little details and stuff on her looks really, really good. And she hits really hard. She's going to be useful in those, you know, faction-specific situations. Another damage dealer for like, you know, siege comps. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. 100 void shards. Do you guys think it's worth it? She's not the most expensive and she's not the cheapest, but I don't think she's the worst or the best of the void shards that were ever offered. So I think she's fair and fair value for the 100 void shards. So hopefully you guys get something nice along the way. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are pulling for her. What do you guys think of her? Do you guys have her? Do you guys use her anywhere? Yeah, let me know. And thanks for watching, guys, to the end. Have a great Monday, and I'll see you guys in the next one.